Hello and welcome to English Like a Native. My name is Anna English and today I'm joined by the lovely Adil from which YouTube channel?
Adil Amarsi Official. It's more or less a blogging channel. They can just follow me and what I do.
Fabulous. Now I'm joined by Adil today because I realise many of my viewers actually observe Ramadan, but I don't know very much about it. So this whole series is now going to be about me learning more about you and your culture. So today I want to know more about Ramadan.
Okay, cool.
So tell me, I know Ramadan is celebrated by Muslims, but
observed more than anything.
Observed, not celebrated. Good. So when in the year is it celebrated? Is it the same time every year?
Ramadan is you observe Ramadan as the 9th month, if I remember correctly, of the Islamic calendar. And the Islamic calendar is 2 weeks shorter than what we follow here in the West, which is the Gregorian calendar.
Right.
So the Islamic calendar every year, Ramadan goes back every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So this year, I think it started last Friday, just around the end of May. Next year is going to start around mid-May.
Right.
And so on and so forth. It's about a 30-day period of observing your fasts.
Okay, so Ramadan is all about fasting.
Mostly, but there's also more to it. Like, fasting is basically level 1, what we call, which is water and no food or water during daylight hours.
But you can at night time.
At night time. Basically, after sundown, you can all the way until dawn. So you can basically eat as much as you want at that point, but it's recommended you eat a certain amount.
And you say there's more to it than just abstaining from food and drink?
Yes. Some of the rules that come from Ramadan as well is it's more or less like a spiritual growth that's supposed to happen during this time of the year. So you have to abstain during the daylight hours from things such as sexual relationships with your wife or husband. As Islam is a religion that does practice the no premarital sex rule. So you would after dark, like after you've broken your fast, you're allowed to have sexual relations with your partner as long as you're married. That's essentially just a thing. The other stuff as well, that you abstain from entertainment that's mindless or non-contributing to your spiritual growth.
So my YouTube channel would be considered educational, so it's all right for you to be watching my channel.
Yeah, especially something like this where we're educating and teaching more about Islam and Ramadan during this month.
Okay.
So yeah, anything that's educational is allowed. Anything that's just kind of like, oh, I'll just watch EastEnders or whatever it is, wait until after the sun goes down for you to, if you want to watch something like that. But you're usually meant to be reading and understanding more about who you are. So
does this mean that during Ramadan you don't get very much sleep? It sounds like you'd be doing most of the things when you should be sleeping. Yeah,
it's a bit of a thing. Like, you essentially don't sleep much, just simply because the prayer times that happen as well, especially during the summer, you sleep a small amount during the day, but somehow, we make it through.
Okay. Is there anything else that you abstain from?
Swearing, smoking, that's not allowed, profanity, anything that basically just devalues from what is essentially good. You abstain entirely from that.
Okay, I mean it sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
But can I ask, with all these kind of things, there's always usually a point. So you said about spiritual growth, but is there more to it than that?
Massively. Bar the health benefits, because there are health benefits, contrary to what people have been saying for years, but now being proven by science, is that fasting actually allows your body to go into a full detox and actually start getting over a lot of problems that's happening inside. A friend of mine who had stomach issues actually fasted the entire month of Ramadan. They weren't Muslim, they just did it for, they wanted to see what would happen, and their health got better, their stomach issues cleared up. It was a strange thing, but they wrote an entire journal about it. The other things that come from it, and it's the biggest, it's one of the bigger reasons for Ramadan to actually happen for a Muslim, or for anyone that's abstaining from anything, is that it humbles you as a person, because you realize that you don't need all the flashy stuff that's around, you don't need to have all the latest gadgets, and it makes you appreciate what you truly already have. And the best part about it is that it humbles you so much that you give more charitably. So you don't look down on the beggar on the street or the child that's hungry. You essentially go out to feed the poor, you go out to help your fellow brethren of humanity, simply because you realize, if I'm going through these summer months without food and water, these people are going all year round without food and water during the day and barely can eat.
Yeah.
So it allows
it's about finding the empathy, so empathizing with people in very difficult situations.
Exactly. And there are, of course, rules. For someone who can't fast, there's medical exemptions, such as if you have stomach issues or if you have any ailment that
digestive
Yeah, I have ulcerative colitis, so I'm exempt, unfortunately, from fasting. I say unfortunately because I actually genuinely love doing it, but it's proven quite tricky for me over the last couple of years to do so. But people that have long-term problems that need medication, they need to take every couple of hours, they're exempt as well. Women during their time of month, they're exempt and not meant to.
Okay.
But yeah, anytime that if you're fasting, obviously if you miss days, because you will miss days, if you don't, congratulations, but if you do, that's okay too, because you can make it up after Ramadan as well. There's time that you can actually make it up later on in the year. The other thing as well with fasting, you're not meant to put yourself in any physical danger.
Okay.
Namely, like dehydration sets in and you start passing out. At that point, yes, you break your fast because you're not meant to get to that level.
Yeah, of course. And is there an age at which, like, do children do it? Very young children? I would imagine it's hard to do it with them.
It depends. A lot of kids, like, I started fasting, I think, at 7 or 8 years old. That's when I started doing my first fasts. But it's usually recommended from the age of puberty. So when the kid hits puberty, that's when they usually start fasting. Kids, because they are kids and want to imitate their parents or their friends or sisters or whatever it is that they want to imitate, what they do is they are allowed to do half days.
Okay.
So they'll fast for a short period of time and they'll understand what it's like, so it humbles them and they understand it. The best part though, and I think the best practice, is that it gets them into the habit quite quickly. And once that habit starts to form, as they get older, they actually understand that it's a thing they just do. And it just continues on, it actually helps them. But if you're a child that doesn't fast, that's completely fine as well. So you're not vilified for it.
And when you finish your 30 days, is there some form of like a celebration or a closing?
Yeah, there's a big feast and a big celebration called Eid.
Crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a celebration called Eid. There's two Eids. There's Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr. I think Eid al-Fitr is the one that we're doing right now.
Okay.
I say I think because I was getting them confused. But Eid al-Fitr is essentially, one is to celebrate the end of Ramadan, and Eid al-Adha is the one for the end of the year, the Islamic year, so it's on New Year's. But at each Eid al-Fitr, you essentially just go to the mosque, you do your Eid prayer as a man, you come home and you celebrate with your family, you get family, cousins, friends, everyone comes over to everyone else's house, you all eat, and you basically stuff yourself silly the entire day through. It's brilliant.
Sounds fantastic.
There was something I did want to mention as well during the Ramadan side of things as well. So the types of food that you recommend to have is like a very light food. As soon as you break your fast, the reason is you don't want to stuff yourself, otherwise you get bloaty. Because there's, of course, Muslims pray 5 times a day, and the 5th prayer of the day is quite long. It's quite a strenuous exercise to go through. Because you're not just doing the normal 5th prayer, you're now doing like a lot more. Because you essentially, I think you read essentially a chapter of the Quran every night during prayer, which is, it's great because spiritually it really strengthens you. But there's an amount that you do, and you don't want to get all lethargic and tired while you're praying, get cramps. So you do your prayers, you come home, you have your food, you go to sleep, you wake up, you eat again, most people stay awake till dawn, do their dawn prayers, and then go to sleep again and start their day. But there was something as well I did want to touch upon, which was penalties.
Okay, so if you do something like you break your fast when you shouldn't.
Well, those are more or less just like you make them up at the end of the month. But I meant more for someone that can't fast for whatever reason, like they're medically exempt from it. There is penalties involved, and the penalties aren't severe, which is a great thing. The penalties are just more or less like, I would say penalties might be the wrong word, but it is what it is. It's essentially a replacement for fasting. So, for instance, someone like me, the rule is that if you can't fast for some medical reason or for whatever reason it is, you essentially feed 60 people at one time, or 60 people at one time.
Wow.
Or you give enough for one person to eat every day for 30 days.
Okay.
So yeah.
I mean, you'd have to have a very big oven to feed 60 people.
Well, you don't have to cook the food yourself, which is a good thing. Though I would be tempted.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what did you do?
I usually send. I make a payment. My mum, she helps me out with this. So hi, mum. She basically goes ahead and takes the payment that I give her, and she just passes it, so it feeds, I think 30 people, like one person for 30 days, or it varies, 60 people at one time or 30 people over.
And so that payment, does that go to help, is it only other Muslims, or?
No, it could help anyone.
Help
Basically, it just helps people that are in need.
Oh,
So that's lovely, because Islam teaches us it doesn't matter if you're Muslim or not, you're still my human brother, you're still my human sister, so if you were hungry,
So I'm your sister.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how we do things. We always look at things.
That's nice.
Like one of the rules, again, especially about giving charitably, is if someone asks for money, yes, you're not really meant to say no, but like, oh, I don't know. But if someone asks for food, then you have to. Then it's a straight up, yeah, that's great. You know what they want. That's a great way to actually give back.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for teaching me. I've learned an awful lot actually, and yes, if you are fasting or if you are paying the penalty because you cannot fast for whatever reason, then best of luck with it, and I hope it's all going well, and I hope you have a fantastic feast at the end of it.
I hope so too. Guys, have a good day, and assalamu alaikum to everyone that's watching.
Great. Thank you for being with me. Okay, thank you guys. Take care and goodbye. Oh, as I still have your attention, I just want to do a massive shout out to all of my patrons. Without your generous support, this channel would not be possible. Now, if you are watching and you're not a subscriber, then press this lovely little round button. And why not check out some of these other awesome videos? In the description box below, there are lots of links. Go and have a look. Have a nice day. Bye.